Hi there, gang. This is Coach Jay with Full Circle Coaching Consulting, and I want to talk to you a little bit today about the dinner talk module. With the dinner talk, there's really only one thing that matters, and that's the close. I was stuck for a long, long, long time on, do I really want to do a dinner talk? Do I want the stress of the dinner talk? But really and truly, there's no stress in it because people are coming and people want to see if they like you. It's an interview more than anything else. So there's a couple ways you can do it, and you can follow along with the module. And there's some suggestions. I give a talk on. I want everybody moving, right? So the first thing I talk about is air and breathing. And I live in Colorado, and there's altitude, so it's really easy to talk about air and breathing. But the important thing when you read that module is to get people standing up and like breathing and just breaking a normal pattern at the end. If you serve food first, they can be a little bit tired. The breathing is a great way to get them up and going. I generally speaking do serve food first, although there's lots of docs who don't. The reason why I do the dinner first is because I like to get it started right at 6. I usually am done adjusting at 6. I can actually have people fully fed and ready to go by the time I get there to the dinner at about 6:15. And my staff has generally met people and greeted people, and they put their name badges on. I don't need to be there for all that. But I do when I get there and people are eating, I can go down and say, hey, hey, nice to meet you. I'm Dr. J. Welcome to our dinner talk today, and get a chance to build some rapport. Then, hey, how's the food? Do you like the food? Yeah, the food's really good. You did really well. Um, I usually will have my family there also. You can probably hear my kids talking in the background. I have my kids walking around because one of the first things they'll say is, hey, why am I here? I'm here to make this a better community for my kids, and here they are walking around here, so they know that I'm walking my talk, and I'm not just here just talking to them. Um, so just the way that we set this up in the summer, great to have it outside if you get a nice quiet location. Um, there's really no wrong way to do it. The most important thing is that when you again, for me, I like to meet them while they're eating and talk about the food and build some rapport, and they seem approachable. Usually my wife can be walking around. If I'm walking with my kid, it just makes me, again, a little bit more approachable. So when I get to the talk itself, I'll usually open up with why I'm here, and I'll mention, so, hey, anybody see the Advil commercial during the Super Bowl? You know how many millions of dollars that cost? Yeah, that's their marketing. This is my marketing. This is my way to be here in my community, reach out and say, hey, there are things that you can do for your body that isn't an Advil that's going to make you more healthy. That's really the root cause to a problem, not just treating a symptom. And we'll talk a little bit about that later on. But again, the reason why I'm here, just to be really clear, the reason why you're here for a free dinner is I'm a chiropractor. I'm only like 3 hours down the road. I usually get a little laugh. And my office is right down the road. They're right at airport in Nelson. We're 2 miles away. So we live, eat, sleep, and breathe this community. Um, and I'm here hopefully to help you with your health. So that's kind of my opening spiel. I'll do the breathing thing, but again, with the actual contents of your conversation aren't that important. I've started to go a little more to a 4 essentials. This is a Dr. Tom, where I'll talk about what do you need to survive. You need air, so then we'll do the breathing thing. You need water, so we'll talk about how to tell if you're hydrated or dehydrated, and I think that's in there. And then we'll talk about food. You need to have food, water, air. But what's the fourth thing that you don't think about? That's your nerve supply. So the nerve supply for me is the close. Um, it could you can also talk about the 4 essentials as a nerve supply, and then you could have 5 topics. So you could have your air, your food, and talk a little bit about nutrition, a small amount because you can talk forever nutrition, right? Your air, your food, your water, and then you can talk about nerve supply, talk a little bit about chiropractic there, the benefits of chiropractic, and the blood pressure study. And then you can talk about, but the last thing you really need to have a healthy life is mental choice. You've got a choice whether you're going to honor how you feel your body with these things. So again, there's a couple ways you can do it. If you do a 2-part talk, I broke it up where I've got 4 pieces in one. The fourth piece is mental choice um, in part number 1. In part number 2, I'm just talking about good fats and bad fats. I'm talking about healthy nutrition versus faux health nutrition. And I don't even remember what the other thing I talk about. I think I talk about caffeine, and then I talk about nerve supply. Either way, your close is going to be the exact same thing every time. Um, and the close, there's a really, really detailed piece on the close that's written out as part of your module. For me, it's important that you are really clear and you're leaving enough time to deliver them options. I have failed at this before. I have given a dinner talk or a lunch talk. It's really the same thing, and I've not given myself enough time for the close. A great group, really engaged. Uh, I was surprisingly funny, and I got to the end of the talk, and I didn't leave enough time to properly do the close, like the only part that mattered. And people were geared up and they were ready to go. They probably would have actually come into the office had I had the close and enough time for Larissa to hand out sheets and say, here's, fill out the information, let's get your dollar. Um, but I just didn't do that. And so nobody took action. You have to have enough time to deliver the close, leave time for action, and then if you need time for questions. On a 40-minute health talk, let's say I leave 40 minutes for the talk, I will generally leave 20 minutes for the fluff, the information, and then another 20 minutes for the close. The close itself should only be about 5 minutes, but then if people have questions and you want to leave time for your staff to circulate and ask people when they want to get scheduled, you have to leave time for that. There's a couple ways that I've done closing options. Hey, if you're sitting here today and maybe you're usually in one of two camps, that's one close, or you're in one of three camps, and that would be a separate close, and I'll explain those two. There's usually, so one of two camps, hey, you've heard some good information, you've got a chiropractor, and or maybe you don't live here. It was nice to meet you, hope you learned something today. That's camp number one. Camp number two, you'd like to make a change with your health today. And for camp number two, then there's only two options. This is just for me going to be either a $1 or a $20 or $5 option, whatever works best for you. Let's just call it a $1 option. So if you're in camp number two, you're ready to take advantage of the benefits of chiropractic and you want to start doing it today. We've got a chance for you to get a nerve scan, a proper exam in our office, and then any necessary x-rays. And you know what? We do this for the screaming deal of $20. It could be $5, it could be $1, it doesn't matter what it is. If you don't do x-rays, maybe just do it for $1. That runs upwards of $240 in my office. And you might be sitting there thinking, wow, that's a screaming deal. Why doesn't he just do it for free? The reality is, if you don't take that dollar out of your pocket, or the 5, or the 1, or the 20, and say, I'm making a commitment to my health today, this will just be another thing that gets pushed off in the future. It'll wait until a disc blows out, or you're really and truly shut down. The doctor's saying, the medical doctor or your family health doctor is saying, you need to make massive change in your life today. Let today be the time that you're going to choose to take massive action before letting the action take a hold of you. If there's three camps, you can also give them kind of a gradient option. Hey, camp number one, thank you very much, and you learned something, but chiropractic is not for you. No problem. Hope you learned something today. And if you ever need me, again, I'm just 3 hours down the road. Camp number one, hey, think about kicking the tires on this chiropractic thing. We have a good option for you. We've got what's called a nerve scan. We can do a detailed analysis of how well your nerves are functioning. We can do that in your office, and I do that for $1. It usually costs upwards of $100 in my office, but we do it for $1. It takes 20 minutes, doesn't take too terribly long, but it gives you an idea of how well your nerves are functioning. And camp number three, hey, if you're part of this camp, you're ready to take action today, and you want to get a proper base on your health, we'll do the nerve scan, we'll do a proper exam, history, as well as any necessary x-rays. We do that for $20. Again, that costs upwards of $240 in our office, but for today, I'm doing it for $20. The best chance we have for getting based on your health. But for both of these, I won't do this for free. I want you to say, I'm going to take action, take the $1 out, take the $20 out, hand it to one of the girls circulating here, and let them know when you want to come in and get your body checked. That's it. You gotta have a close. Whatever your options are, practice the spiel, practice the close. Know what your three camps are. Come bomb-proof, ready to talk about them. I don't have like what I'm offering today. So usually my three camps are, hey, you're not interested, the $1 or the $20 option. Here's the thing, if you've got three options, nobody ever chooses the middle of the road. Nobody ever chooses the $1. They go right for the baseline of their health. I say never, quite infrequently. So that's what the health talk looks like. Don't be afraid to do it. Just practice it. All you gotta do is practice it. You can practice it with your coach. If I'm your coach, we'll sit down and we can spend a 30-minute phone call just role playing this, and it's really easy. I am Dr. Jay Brightlow. I'm a coach consultant with Full Circle, and looking forward to connecting with you. Cheers.